What's up, everybody? I'm back with another tool deals video, and today we're going to be talking about mini chainsaws. Now, I was given this TomyVic. Let me just tell you how this video came about. I was given this TomyVic. They want me to make a video about it, right? So I said, all right, you know what? Sure, I'll get one, because I had a branch that just fell, and I didn't want to use my big giant Milwaukee. And so I figured, you know what? I might as well just buy all the little smaller ones, because I saw a little sneak peek that this bad boy is going to be on a BOGO during the holiday season. We might be able to get that for like $70 or $80. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and hurry up and just check, see which is good, so I know what to recommend during the holiday season. So, who knows? Maybe it's the TomyVic out of these. Who knows? But let's first go ahead and get this out of the way and talk about what this comes with. So obviously the TomyVic came with itself, right? The 6-inch saw. It came with some safety glasses, a oil bottle, no oil in there, but a bottle, a screwdriver, a little socket wrench here, extra chain, some gloves, charger, and the second battery in this hard case. And I think this is like maybe $129 for all of this. So that's, if it works well, that'd be incredible. It's an incredible little deal there. Now, this Kobalt was about $159 or $149 as well. And it came with, obviously, itself. It came with a 2-amp-hour battery, a charger. So this came as a whole kit, as you can see right there. This Ryobi just was tool only, DeWALT tool only, Milwaukee tool only, of course. Now, let's go ahead in order. So let's first cover what I'll be discussing in this video. I'm not going to go through specs. I'm starting to get a little tired of the specs because, you know, they all be lying. So what really matters is how well they perform. So I'm going to talk about how they feel in your hand, and we're going to talk about how they perform, what matters, okay? And then talk about maybe warranty, because that'll be a big thing if you do run into some issues. So let's first talk about the TomyVic. And when I picked this up, obviously it feels pretty good. I don't like the placement of the trigger here, only because it's very sharp on this edge right there. And this kind of bumps my middle finger sometimes. You'll be using gloves, but you know, it's still good to see how this feels with bare hands, because you can also get a good feel for its overall design. All of them have a little safety switch. Depressing the safety switch and activating this is very easy, because the switch is there, boom, and then you pull the trigger. I don't want to do it because there's no oil in here. I haven't oiled it, so I don't want to mess anything up. But yeah, so that's the TomyVic. It's very light, obviously. It's not a lot to it. And it's compact, 6 inches right there. The Kobalt, when we pick this up, this is definitely a two-hand tool. All of these are going to be two-hand tools, for real. But two-hand tool, it's heavy. The ergonomics aren't terrible on this. Again, this kind of rests on your middle finger here. But again, when you, it's not bad. It's not terrible. So yeah, it's not terrible. Now to get to the button to turn it on to activate, you push this side or from here, right? To do that is a little tricky, and to activate, so you have to do this and then pull it, but it's tricky. It feels like I need two hands, so it's not all that user friendly, I would say. And lots of weight on the butt there. The oh my God. This, oh my goodness, it's perfect. Oh, it feels like it melts in your hand. This is perfect. Now, this feel, oh look, I was about to say it's angled, it teases you like, oh, almost. Why would you do that? Just leave it poking all the way out so I can easily push the thing. So you can't easily push this. You got to basically do this, then quickly reposition. This was almost perfect. That button, well, something right here. Yeah, that was, I mean, that wasn't too bad to get. I just depressed it a little bit. But again, I don't want to run it because it needs oil. Where's the oil going? I got to read the instructions, but generally you have to oil these things, but I don't see a place for oil. If this was like oil free, sheesh, winner chicken dinner. But yes, anyway, this is light, nicely balanced. Much better than the Kobalt. The Kobalt is really butt heavy. I don't like that. This is a lot more balanced. I don't know why. Just a lot more balanced. It's lighter. I low-key do now want to look at some specs to try to understand why that might be lighter. I would assume it's something to do with the motors, but the motors look exactly the same size. Moving on over to the DeWALT. This is 8 inches. Obviously very heavy. It's poking me in the finger, something sharp, a little piece of plastic line or something. Anyway, you can kind of see it's not very focused, but you can see a little line there. That's sharp, and it's poking me in my middle finger. I don't like it. This is definitely a two-hand tool. Let me just show you something else. When you're using this, you're going to put your hand here, okay? I don't like this either. I do appreciate the guard for your hand. However, depending on how big your hand is, you see my knuckles are almost touching that piece. Why have the ridges, though? Let me turn on the light so you can see. All right, that's very good. Why have these ridges? That is just going to dig into my knuckle. Again, you'll have gloves on, but if your hands are bigger than mine, that's going to be uncomfortable as I don't know what. So I don't like that. Okay, let me pick it up. Another thing I don't like, it's just a lot of room down here, and so it feels not secure. I don't feel safe. This, you see, the enclosure is very tight. It's really nowhere for my hands to go, and it's perfect. Dang, that feels good in your hand. But this, yeah, no, I don't like that. And I also like how you have this shield from your right hand, too, on the Ryobi. You guys know I generally hate Ryobi power tools, but I don't know, this one got it on the DeWALT. All right, now moving on to the Milwaukee. I'm going to leave the light on. I know it's real annoying, but you can see more. The Milwaukee is much better balanced than the DeWALT, and that's probably because of the placement of the motor. The motor's on the top and the middle, so there's a nice center of gravity there. It's still heavy as crap, being 8 inches with the bigger motor than the 6 inches here, but it does feel nicely balanced. Another thing, when you put your hand up here, you see there's no ridges, and there's a lot more clearance there. So I like the Milwaukee over the DeWALT. One thing we didn't discuss was how you depress the trigger with the DeWALT. Again, this is better. It's not though. Doing this and then pulling the trigger, it's a weird motion. There's nothing on the right side. It's just on the left. I don't like the DeWALT. I don't even know if I'm going to use it, but I am. But I kind of hate almost everything about it. Now the Milwaukee again feels very good. It's easy to access the lever, not the button, which is smart. It's a lever. You push down either side. If you're left-handed or right-handed, which I like. See, this is made for people who are right-handed. This is for people who are left or right-handed. You push down, bam, pull it, you in business. So this is very good. And surprisingly, it's almost like the hammer drill, but this doesn't dig into my finger. It angles up a little bit, so it's nice and smooth. You still have the protection for your hand. You have an onboard tool storage, which is always helpful. And where's the oil go? Okay, the oil tank is up there. All right, and so yeah. Now, before we get to cutting, which is going to be the next day or in 2 days, let's talk about the cases. So they all come with some type of case. This is the Milwaukee. Getting this on and off is a challenge. There you go. Got that on. It's kind of scary. The DeWALT is quite cool because you just clamp it on. You can do that one hand. Very nice. I do like that on the DeWALT. The Ryobi was super easy to take off. Also wanted to mention that the 6 inches have this thing going on. The 8 inches don't. But this was super easy to take off. I don't know about putting on, but let's see. Very easy. I was putting it on upside down the wrong last time. So if it's not easy, flip the thing around. The Kobalt was challenging to get off. That just was. But to put it back on, that was probably the easiest yet. And then a TomyVic is going to be super easy to just lay down in the case. All right, so with that said, we're 11 minutes in. I can't believe it already. Let's go ahead and get the cutting. I want to cut this first.
I can see okay.
Are you filming?
Yep.
All right.
Whoa, see how that cut cleanly? So, are you teaching me anything or we're going to cut?
You filming still?
Yep.
That was very smooth. One more. Wow, very good. You recording?
Yes.
Okay.
That cut smoothly.
It did. Wow.
I expected it to cut very smooth, and it did.
Let's do one more.
Okay.
Yes. Ah. Now let's do the Milwaukee. That was okay. All right, we're back in the house now, and we've used these. The footage is okay. My son was a little salty because he thought I wasn't gonna let him cut. Now, this is why it's important to actually use a tool, because originally the two that I like the least, just through observation, ergonomics, and stuff like that, are actually the two I like the best. So first up, let's talk about the TomyVic, because this is the one that I was sent to review. It actually is not bad. It's unbelievable how much smaller it is than all these other ones. And I mean, having it next to the 8-inch one is absurd. But I mean, the 6-inch is really, what it's compared to, and it's so teeny. All these other ones have brushless motors. This one obviously is brushed. It works. It works. It works way better than you'd expect for its size. Now, moving on to the Ryobi. The Ryobi, the ergonomics are perfect. This is made for my hand. But I don't like the way it cuts. And I don't like that it doesn't have the automatic oiling system. You have to oil it manually. Same for the TomyVic. But look at this little thing. That's kind of, to me, to be expected. But I'm surprised at the Ryobi, especially when its Kobalt's competitor does have that system. And the Kobalt, while it's not all that ergonomically friendly like the Ryobi, it's heavy, it's not well balanced. It actually cuts well, though. I don't know if that's what makes it cut so well. And if we come look at the side right here, we see even its position different. It's flat, right? Almost like a chainsaw. This has an angle to it, and that could be why it's a little challenging to cut, because you want to cut straight. So really, when you're using a Ryobi, you need to hold it like this. But it doesn't feel it's hard to explain. It doesn't feel easy to do. With this, the way the handle is, it's actually well thought out. So you just basically relax your hand on the thing, on the log, pull the trigger, and it goes. That angle in the Ryobi is what I think really kills it. It makes the cutting experience not that great because you really have to rotate your wrist like this to actually get the bar and chain straight. Now, the Milwaukee is, I guess, similar. The Milwaukee, it's quiet. It's quieter than the DeWALT. That's what I'm comparing it to because that's 8 inches. It's quiet, but I don't like the way it cuts. It likes to pull, and it wasn't obvious from the picture, from the video, but it likes to pull and snatch forward, and it really wants the log at the base of the bar and chain. Then it begins to cut pretty darn well. If you can get used to that, you'll be happy with the Milwaukee. It does have the best trigger operating system like that. And it is actually very easy to use with one hand. They'll tell you, Milwaukee will tell you not to use it with one hand. It's a two-hand tool, but this thing is really easy to use with one hand. The DeWALT, on the other hand, is not that easy to use with one hand. But it's easy to use though. It cuts like butter. I might even leave the sound on so that you can hear that. You can also see the Milwaukee is having a hard time standing up. It's shaped just like the Ryobi. It has that angle. And again, that angle makes it difficult to really cut. Now the Kobalt is straight, and the DeWALT does have a slight angle, but it's mostly straight as well. So I'm thinking that's what's increasing the experience here with the DeWALT and the Kobalt. Maybe you got to just get used to the angle on the Milwaukee and the Ryobi, and the angle on the Milwaukee is so great that it can't even stand up. But anyway, this is not easy to handle in terms of just one hand. But it cuts super smooth at any place on the bar too. So you could be in the center, it's gonna cut smooth. The log could be up against the base of the chainsaw, it's gonna cut smooth. And then it has all this stuff going on at the tip, so you're not really cutting at the tip. But I will say, for the price, this is a regular price like $169, and this is like $2 something. It's, to me, a no-brainer. I would go with the DeWALT all day, even at the same price. I actually got this cheaper, and I think I still want the DeWALT over that. Now, I'll tell you something that the Milwaukee does have over the DeWALT, this onboard storage for the tool to adjust the chain. With the DeWALT, it's right here. It's located inside of the case, the cover. And if you're working, especially if you have like a new chain. So sometimes while you're working, you might have saw on the TomyVic, the chain is baggy, but that came from, it's a new chain and they stretch out. So I would have to walk back to wherever that was to go get the tool to adjust this. Whereas with the Milwaukee, I could just stay where I am, pop it off the tool, do what I need to do, pop it back on, and get back to work. So this is definitely more convenient. All in all, none of them are really loud. I just actually, in terms of use, I like the Kobalt. Especially at this price, it's $149, and it comes as a whole kit. The DeWALT is $169 tool only. The Milwaukee is like $2 something tool only, and the Ryobi is also like around $150 tool only. This is just full price right now, and again, you can hack the Milwaukee and get it for like $149. But again, I wonder if this at some point would get on my nerves. I feel like this really shaves off, your 8 inches. It's not really fully an 8-inch chainsaw. And I don't use chainsaws a lot, so I don't even know what this is fully for. But if you guys some expert in the comments can comment on all the uses of this and whether it's really a hindrance or whether it's a bonus thing to have, please let us know, because I don't know and I don't want to get the line to anybody. The Milwaukee does not have that. Doesn't appear to be able to add them either, but you do have your little grease hole there. You do not have that on the DeWALT. No, you do not. You do not have that grease hole on the DeWALT. And from what I've researched, modern ones don't have that. I believe that's for the bearing right here. This does have these metal spikes. I forgot what these are called. But it does have those. DeWALT does not. It just has this plastic right here going on. And the Kobalt also does have the spikes, but also it is plastic. So it does appear that the Milwaukee is better made, but again, it does not cut like this DeWALT. And this DeWALT actually sounds like a chainsaw, whereas this Milwaukee, I don't know, it doesn't. It sound like some handheld power tool. So anyway, let me know what you guys think. I don't recall how much the TomyVic is. Let me go check. All right, I just ran and checked. So I was about to say, unless this TomyVic is like $79, I can't recommend it. But guess what? It ain't $79. It's $69. I think I like that over the Ryobi. I ain't gonna lie to you. I mean, Ryobi obviously feels better and it's brushless, but you get a lot for your money for $69. So I would say all of these are pretty viable options here. I think the only one I wouldn't recommend is the Ryobi, but it does have the best grip, but that's about it. I don't know, man. I like them all. That up there, all of them work. That up there is the cheapest, $69. That's a good deal right now, but even still, without it being a good deal, works well. $149 for the whole kit. The DeWALT cuts buttery smooth, the best out of all of them, in my opinion. The Milwaukee cuts second best. It could be that angle that I need to get control of. And the Ryobi has the best ergonomics. So make of that what you will. All right, now we are at the stores. And I wanted to talk about a few things concerning the chainsaw. So first of all, let's talk about the Milwaukee. Now, at the time of filming this, not this part, but at the time of filming this before, I was able to get this on a BOGO, which was hackable, which made this thing $168. Now it's $279, which changes a lot, all right? Because at $168, why would you even consider this 6-inch? But you know, the 6 inches, 12 volt, people still like it a lot. But if you can find this on the BOGO, the 8-inch one, for just not even for $19 extra, I would obviously go the 8-inch. And personally, I would probably just wait around for that. So the Milwaukees are good, okay? The DeWALT also very good. And the thing you want to check for, you see this right over here. There's a 6-inch chain replacement, and the 8-inch chain is also here. That's really what you want to look for. DeWALT $169. All right, just that's not on sale or anything. Just $169, and I like the DeWALT a lot. I can't see why the Milwaukee costs so much more. It does have some differences. It doesn't have this guard, which you need to keep on there. So it's a little more versatile. I think overall for professionals, you might want the Milwaukee, but shoot, $110 extra. But here we go, DeWALT also has the 8-inch chain as well. Moving on over to this Ryobi, no chain. There's no chain available for this thing, and that's a problem. I didn't know that the Ryobi didn't have one. Now they have the 8-inch right here, but they don't have a 6-inch chain available. And if you read the reviews, people are saying that you can't get the 6-inch chain. So we see right here, Ryobi intentionally made this with a chain that no one makes so they can sell you an overpriced chain replacement. Problem is they don't have any to sell and no ETA when they will. Chain came off second day. I returned it for a refund. This person doesn't know how to use it. You got to keep tightening it because chains stretch in the beginning. Replacement chains not available. So yeah, so that's the problem with this. Also, it doesn't have its own oiling, auto oiling feature. So no, I would not recommend that. But the ergonomics are fantastic. Same for the Kobalt. No chains available. Here we go. Look, I got this on March 23rd. This is great for small jobs. My yard chain broke. I need a new one. Lowe's does not have the chain in stock or online. Spoke to customer service. They have no idea when the chain will come back in stock. So overall, just avoid the 6-inch chainsaws unless it's Milwaukee. And the thing is, you gotta look at the links. You see the 8-inch here is 33 drive links. The DeWALT here is 34. So, you know, just because it's the same length don't mean it's going to fit. And finally, we can look over here at the TomyVic, and she's Louise, y'all. This thing comes with 3 chains total, right? And this whole kit right now is extra 40% off. It's normally $69. $69 is insane. And this thing actually worked pretty well. I mean, you have to manually oil it, but for $69 and an extra 40% off, this thing is $41 right now for this whole kit. I'm not really sure you can beat that. And I'm also curious if this will take a different type of battery. I just had a company reach out to me, and I'll test them first before I talk about it. But there's like a cheap Chinese brand like this as well. And theirs takes DeWALT batteries, and it's brushless, and it has an auto oil feature and an auto tensioner. So we shall see. But anyway, that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below. Let me know what you think about these chainsaws, what your experience is with the Milwaukee or the 6-inch M12 Milwaukee for that matter. I think I would probably stay away from the 6-inchers. Again, unless it's this M12, and that's probably why people like it so much, because there's chains available and everything like that. But let me know what you guys think. Till then, see you guys next video.